Hey guys, I am here with Amy and Jennifer, the co-founders of Lucid Studio. And Lucid Studio is a full service agency that works with beneficial brands. And what's really cool about that is beneficial brands are brands that aspire to make a positive impact on people, pets, and the planet. And they really support their clients through brand strategy, design, packaging, and marketing activation. And Amy leads the brand and creative strategy, while Jennifer leads the account strategy and operation. And I brought them in today to start talking about how brand strategy is really a vital topic. So they're going to kind of touch on what is your brand strategy, what it's not, how it's important to building your brand, and then bringing that back in to say, like, where does photography also play a role in strategy? And how you guys can take some tips and tricks out of this to start really aligning your photography with your brand strategy. So I'm going to hand this over to Jennifer and Amy to kick us off and start giving us some tips and tricks.
Awesome. Thank you so much for having us on. We're really excited to talk with you today on this very important topic. So brand strategy, what is it? Okay, let's say you have this great product, right? Maybe you're a chemist and you've developed this beautiful new line of soaps. What next? Right? So that's where brand strategy comes in. Brand strategy is a set of organizing principles that helps to offer a clear understanding of your brand, what you value, what you stand for, your promise out to consumers, and your personality, right? Brands need to have a personality because that helps us to relate to the brand, to see ourselves into the brand. And I like to say this often for anyone that's worked with me, for consumers to say, I want to be a part of that. Like, I like that. I like what's happening there and I like the product that they're offering. So brand strategy helps to lay all of the groundwork to build that brand foundation so that you're very crystal clear on who you are. Right? So that's the fundamental of a brand strategy, those sets of organizing principles. We'll have a lot of clients that come to us and say, I have this great product and I have a general idea of what I want, but I don't know who I am. So Jennifer and I have started with literally just laying the groundwork on mission, vision, and values. And we keep the process very simple. It's completely collaborative, because we are literally, Jennifer and I, the channel that works to express what somebody else's vision is for their brand, to bring clarity and meaning to it. And it's such a great gift to be able to do that for others. We work with a lot of small brands that are building from scratch, ground up. And we also work with a number of really big brands and everything in between. And so it's really a blessing to be able to bring this sort of meaning to brands.
And the process is the same for both big or small.
Yeah.
Building that foundation is the same, and you need that to go and lead into design. Now there's varying levels of it. Sometimes we're refining, sometimes we're defining. And so it just really matters where the brand is at. And we like to meet them where they're at and what they need.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are some really key points to just figuring out, like, where are you now and also where are you going, right?
Yes.
So figuring out what are all those steps and how do we actually get to that end result? I think that is a really key point to it as well.
Yeah, I think a lot of the clients that we work with, they're surprised when we get into it, how impactful it is.
Mm-hmm.
And how, once we get through some of the beginning processes in the beginning of laying down mission, vision, values, deciding what that impacts, and their decisions become faster in some of the visual elements that they're so excited to get to. They think we're going to start with that. And when we don't, there's always this, okay, but then they get it. And then they understand that when we start bringing in the visual elements and the design and the photography and the writing, they go, it's so fun to watch them see it click.
Yes.
Along the way, a little confusing. And then there's this point where we present the concepts and the visuals and all of this, and they go, oh, okay, I get it. And that's like one of my favorite parts, is to watch that click.
Absolutely. And we do this by, one of the things Jennifer and I love to say is we listen deeply. So we ask a lot of questions. We have what we call key stakeholder interviews. It's a common term out there. It's wonderful when you're working with a founder, though, to pull all of these sort of insights and the meaning behind why they do what they do and bring that to customers. And so we take all of that information and we build a story around it. And more often than not, when we present back this story that brings meaning to the brand and makes it really clear and heartfelt in a lot of cases, especially with the brands that we work for in the beneficial categories, they're trying to be better for people, pets, and the planet. When we reflect that back to them, I can't tell you how many times people literally have tears in their eyes because they feel so seen and heard. And now it's so easy and tangible for them to share that out on their packaging, on their website, through the visuals that we've created. And we make it super easy. It doesn't need to be complicated. You know, what needs to happen is listening and then having really the expertise and the experience through years of being in this industry that we have to bring that to life really quickly. We have a client. Yes. Yeah. It comes through partnering. It's key. We have a client, a few clients in really amazing categories. One is a chemist that makes a line of beautiful soaps. Trades of Brit is her company and her name. And we worked in a very collaborative and fast manner. And we started that project in August, and she's got products on the shelf right now. Like, she just launched into her first retail location. That is so fast. So it can happen really fast just through the way that you work together, listen deeply, and interact.
Yep. So when you have those types of conversations and somebody who's not as savvy when it comes to brand strategy, what are the ways that you give them those tips and understanding to say, like, hey, we have these different topics that we're going to be working on, and then we're going to break it into the visuals. So when you take it to that next level of, hey, now we need to make this a visual concept that people can see, how do you help people get that understanding, right? Because it's a hard thing to actually see that process before it happens.
Sure. And to have that trust and faith that you're gonna get what you need out of it, right?
Mm-hmm. Right.
I think like bringing them along the way. So it goes, the education comes along the way. So meeting with them and explaining what we're going to do, why we're going to do it, and defining what it is. Sometimes we're teaching them what a mood board is and how do you even look at it. To, you know, and like, because you can say like this, a lot of people look at things like that as super literal, and we almost have to just teach along the way and just handhold. And that's what with some of our smaller clients, there's a lot of hand holding, but that's also like the awesome part of it to bring them along the way. So I think like just teaching along the way, making sure that we're just showing, and if they don't understand, pausing and asking and just listening, going back to listening deeply, like where not moving too fast. We move fast not to rush through it. We move fast because we are moving at the pace at which things just naturally happen. And I think the education comes along the way, and it's through examples, it's through showing them what we do, it's through explaining, it's through spending a lot of time with them. The Trades of Brit example, that's a local brand here for us, and we're able to spend time with her. We have another client here local where we go, and that's a retail bakery. We go and spend time in the bakery. We go and eat lunch there. We go and work from there. We just go, and they see us there, and we can have conversations in their environment where it's comfortable on both sides. Their minds are open to learn. We're learning. I think that's one of the things, when they know that we are learning as well. We're experts in branding. We're experts in packaging design. We're not experts in soap development or sourdough bread, or,
Yes.
and it's, so I think when they kind of understand that, and we can kind of shed some nervousness on both sides of like, let's just be open and work together, that's where the speed comes in, and that's where the efficiency comes in, and that's where people learn.
Yep. So if you had to give, say, 3 tips to somebody who's starting to think about this process, maybe they're looking into hiring someone like you, or they're not ready, but they're trying to think about it. What are those 3 tips or concepts to start thinking about now to get them ready to start launching their brand strategy?
3 tips. I would say one is finding the right agency that can help you move through the process in a way that feels good to you as the brand or business owner. That's so important. That relationship is so important. That would be number 1. Number 2, one of the things that we like to do when we're walking our customers and our clients through the process is look at brand mentors. Brand mentors, just like mentors in our human lives, are brands that you can look up to, that you say, I like that aspect of their personality, or I like the way that they show up through their videos, their social media content and presence. So identifying a brand mentor is so important. We look to that, and we like to build that into a part of the process. And third is, what is the personality that you want to imbibe in your brand? And that's where brand archetypes really come in. So these are 3 things that you can start to wrap your mind around as you're building your own brand. Who am I going to work with? Who do I look up to? And how do I want to show up for the customer? What's my personality? Am I fun and quirky and lighthearted? Or am I the serious sage that wants, people to know that I have some really healing solutions for them? So many different ways that you can show up. And those would be 3 tips I would offer. Jennifer, do you have any other tips that you're thinking?
No, those are all good.
Okay,
And I would
all right.
Those are amazing tips.
yeah, I think those are good.
So I just want to thank you guys for joining me today and chatting about brand strategy. Is there any way that people can get in touch with you if they have questions or want to chat further?
Yes.
Definitely.
Reaching out to
Check us out
Amy and
at,
I on
yeah.
reaching out to Amy and I on we're on LinkedIn. You can check out Lucid. LucidTogether.com is our website, and there's contact information there as well. But LinkedIn and our website, and you can reach us directly.